So how do we create a catalogue in Lightroom, and if we need to, create more than one catalogue and switch between them? Well, it's a pretty easy process, but it's probably a good idea to start by looking at the file structure we're going to use on our PC. So let's switch to Windows Explorer for a moment. If you look over to the left here in the file tree, you'll see that I've got a dedicated hard drive to my photography. And in that drive, all I have is two folders. One for my raw images. Now, I call all of my original images raw images, but you can call them anything you wish. And of course, there's one for finished images. I never mix the two. Let me show you what I've got in my finished images. We're going to come back to this a little bit later on, because I've got a 2014 folder, and within there I've got all of the folders of completed images for this year on the months that I completed them. So if I briefly open the July folder, you can see I haven't created many in the month of July yet. July is not quite finished. But if I take you to the June folder, then I was a little bit busier in June and created quite a few. So that's the structure for my finished images. But if I go back to my raw images, if I open the folder, at the moment there's nothing there. So if we're going to create a catalogue for each year, then my first start, or my place to start, is by creating a folder 2014. It's within this folder where we're going to import images from the storage cards from our camera through Lightroom onto the hard drive of our PC. It's within here that I'm also going to place my catalogue. So I've got a location. Now I need to create the catalogue. To do that, we need to go back into Lightroom. To create our catalogue, we need to go to File, top left of the screen, choosing New Catalogue. In my case, I need to navigate to my photography drive and to my raw images, but remember what I said, we can call this folder anything you like. You could call it original images. Inside there, I've already created my folder for 2014. It's within this folder that we're going to store not only all of the images we bring onto our computer through Lightroom, but also our catalogue. So catalogue first, double click the 2014 folder, click into the file name. I'll keep this simple, 2014 raw catalogue. Now when I click save, Lightroom will shut down briefly and reopen, and we may get a brief look at the catalogue that it's opening at the center top of the screen. There it is, very brief, but my guess is when we have a catalogue with images inside, then it'll probably stay on the screen a few seconds longer. Now I'm going to create another catalogue for my finished images in exactly the same way, and then we can switch between the two. File, New Catalogue, back to my photography drive, finished images 2014. I'm going to keep this equally simple, 2014 FIN, abbreviation for finished, and catalogue, just to make sure that I know exactly what the folder contains. And once again, we're going to see the same thing as a few seconds before, and then Lightroom will reopen. The only problem I have at the moment is the very next video needs to be importing images into our 2014 raw catalogue, and at the moment I've got the wrong one selected. So let's switch them around. It's pretty easy. Back up to the same location, and this time we choose File, Open Catalogue, and I'll switch back to my photography drive, raw images 2014. There's the catalogue folder. Within that we'll find the catalogue file we need to double click. We get the same thing about to happen, although this time, for reasons I'm not quite sure, it gives us a warning that it's going to relaunch. But once Lightroom does come back up, there we have our raw file catalogue for 2014 completed, and we can now think about bringing images in via our flash card, media card from the camera.